Welcome one, welcome all to the ECAC Week 5 Valorant Match of the Week. We got a real barn burner for you guys this time. It's Pace U Esports versus Alfred State Esports, and these two teams are fighting to stay alive for the playoff pictures. There's 3 weeks left in the regular season. I am joined today by Catinator, the one and only.
Hey, Tristan, always a blast to have you on the desk, whether typing or talking, brother. And yes, sir, we got ourselves a matchup between 1 and 3 teams, as you mentioned, fighting to stay alive and definitely hoping that they're able to do so. The playoff contention for them, not out of the park just yet, but winning tonight going to be absolutely critical if they want to send themselves forward. So we could possibly see implications here with just 3 weeks left that whatever team wins this game is the team that actually gets to move on to playoffs.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun maps today. We have Revenge Picking Ascent, and then we have Haven and Icebox as our decider. And like we were talking about before we actually got onto this broadcast, Icebox is going to be a wild ride because of all the changes made to the map recently.
Yeah, Icebox is a box of tricks right now, and we'll see if we end up getting there because it definitely could be slippery just like, well, ice is. We'll see what ends up happening, though. Still got 2 maps to get out the way first, and these maps are going to be completely fine. There's nothing new about Ascent. There's nothing new about Haven. So these maps, no changes. The same old, just changes with agents here. For instance, Astra is significantly weaker. She's got 1 less star. Cooldowns are much, much larger. I will say she has the advantage of the fact that she can throw stars a lot further now, which is kind of nice if you're an Astra 1 trick. It gives you the opportunity to not have to jump as far in your astral form to try to get stars into back corners of hallway, back gelato, top of CAD if you're on the defender side. So there's some advantages there. But realistically, we've seen a lot of players going over to Brimstone. The stim beacon makes agents run faster. We've seen a lot of people moving over to Omen. The Broman's finally back out in full swing. So it's going to be an interesting agent select.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we hop into this, I mean, there are so many agents changed in these last patch notes. Already you see the Omen being hovered, Omen now having a little bit of a buff on the shadow step. His dark cover was also changed as well to his advantage. So a few agents may just come into the meta with this recent patch that you haven't seen before. And I'm so excited to have it shaken up because let's be real here. Astra every game was getting a little stale. Ascent as well, having the Killjoy locked in, that's pretty much a staple pick at this point. Would be very surprised to not see these guys picking up the tried and true. As we load into the game here, oh, like you called it, the Brimstone is out in full force. Chamber as well. Kind of really the only differential between the teams so far. As we load onto the site, I'm expecting to see this Killjoy go towards the B side, but really, Killjoy has the advantage of being able to play either side on this map, especially when you're able to vary up the setups. Even kind of shifting between the sites in between rounds, it makes it really difficult to try and track you down and really get a hold on your post plans or on your setups.
Alarm bot out. Placing swarm grenade.
For anyone, even if it's only going to have around filming those recharge lower rate, so it definitely brings a lot more shadows traveling. The fact that it's around, the fact that we've got launching smoke.
You can already see the buffs coming out as we see onto the A side. It's 1 for 1 so far. They were able to crack it open. The bomb will be going down. The rotation's coming through just a little bit late. There was still one alive at the back of the side because it's dropped by a nice headshot. Players kind of locked out of heaven here. They're going to hope for an opening for themselves. They try and spam through the wall. The Sova Dart gives them some valuable information, but nothing doing as a result. Such a difficult position to be in as the Dart cover comes out. And you can see the buff yet again. That's so quick to spawn. Those bloom quicker than ever now as we see one hiding right below heaven. It's not spotted just yet. Kiwi does get taken out by the Sheriff.
Here.
Look how difficult it is to actually jump onto the site. That dart will be helped, but if a teammate's able to shoot it out, the Jet has gone undetected. 1, 2, almost the third. Able to get cleaned up, and that's going to be a clean first round.
Very clean post plan setup. quite clinical. Just play 2 players towards hell, allow them to swing off one another, Zin some clean shots, and it makes things just that much easier for Pace. So they'll get on the board first here. And man, those dark covers, they move so much faster. Didn't get to dabble in it all that much when we got to the agent select, but those things originally got this buff about 2 months ago where they moved 125% faster, so they traveled the map faster. Now they got a 78% increase to speed on top of that 125. So those things are now just speed racer.
Yeah, it almost blooms instantaneously. Like you see it from a. We see, the utility coming out. They're going to try and rush onto the site, but there's several players right by the doors. They're not going to get any kills as a result, though. They're just getting mowed down. A sea of red in the kill feed. All 4 get dropped without anything answered in return.
Incredibly clean execute, and Fozzie very much devastated to not have teammates alive here will swing, and well, doesn't worry about it anymore because he's not either. Sick to finish the job. It's flawless for Pace, as they've really set the pace early here. They sent themselves in the A site twice. They win it both times, and we'll see. They give us a new opening here because they've got all those Spectres still alive. They got a pretty clean economy. Again, they are playing against some rifles here into this round, but one of them will be a Bulldog, so there's a little bit of give, a little bit of opportunity here against this Alfred defense.
Yeah, it always feels really nice on the attacking side to have such a full eco. You don't have to buy up anyone. You're just pretty much playing to do as much damage to the economy as possible. So really not a lot of pressure this round when it comes to just trying to make sure you bring it over the finish line. Early utility being traded. Tiles smoked off. Returned with an Omen smoke as well. Mid control being established though by Pace, playing this one a bit more aggressively. They have a player looking cat. Can't just get the shots just yet, but there's a lot of info established. Mr. Nader's gonna back off.
I like to play the established, and I thought Paranoia just doesn't quite find what it's looking for in Smoke Bomb. Kind of the same story from the back of the site, just trying to make something happen from DICE, but it's only Zin to make things happen. That's in the site right now. Fuzzy with a quick frag, but instantly traded. Still more players to scaffold here, a very quick retake opportunity, but that cat lurk has been there this whole round. Raze is still going to be there towards cat as Mr. Nader is able to find one to take down Revengeance. Now the swing to come through, that should be an easy clinical refrag, and that is going to be as Tom has the frag. Zin to find another 3K for the Jet, and suddenly Voids without teammates here. The bonus looking almost inevitable for Pace.
Oh yeah, it's rough. Worse for Wares right now as we see a 1v3. Void's just going to try and slowly creep out Heaven. Maybe if he gets the opening pick here, he has a shot at the round, but they're doubled up under. The bomb's ticking lower and lower. They've established his position as he tries to move forward. It's the 4K for Zin, having a fantastic start to this game.
I love the adjustments from Pace so early here. We talked about the fact that we are now on episode 4, Act 2. We've got a new patch. 4.04 dropped today. It brought away that Astra that was almost meta on every single map. So the fact that we see Kiwi adjust this quickly, they throw the Paranoia down towards Cat. They try to get it towards Garden. Unfortunately, it goes a little bit wide, so it doesn't hit Mr. Nader. But I like that they're already trying to work through here. And they show us a new opening as well. They show us that they can take mid control early and then try to work different executes. I'm very excited to see what this offense has as we continue through this game.
Oh, trying to sneak to the corner. Voice decides to just abandon ship. The Goose is cooked, and he's going to have to try and retreat to the site as quick as possible. But already, rotation's coming through. Around 3 players onto the side already. His Jet has to dash away. They're going to try and get nobody pick. What a shot from Fuzzy. His teammate will get traded out. It's only a 1-for-1 as he gets blown away through the smoke. I mean, still, you got to give credit where credit is due. That was nasty. Spacecraft also with the shot of his own. Very nearly picks up a second. 3v2 now. This is still a doable round, but as I say that, Revengeance doesn't need to see a single soul to clean a clock.
Smoke Bomb just counting the time here as that clock continues to tick. Siddiq will pick up the frag. It's quick as ever, and it's 4-0 for Pace. Now we'll get back into the gun round here. Alfred State, you're going to show us something different because Pace certainly has. They've given us 3 different openings now. 2 towards quick A, 1 mid, and another quick into the B site. So to say they have control of tempo would be quite an understatement, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I mean, living up to their name, right? Exactly what they want to do, they will do. Pedal to the metal, and like you, I remember you calling it the run it down meta. I know that's mostly with the Brimstone stims, but even without the stims, it looks like they're really buying into the run it down meta because they are quick to get on site. As we see Spacecraft gonna try and play behind this smoke. A little bit of information being established with that dart, but watching the cross, he's gonna get some action.
Yeah, let me bring that up. It's really such a difference without Astra in the map. There's no gravity well to stall early. There's no nebula to stall early. It allows you to actually make contact executes. The problem most of the time is the fact that you play your initiator duelist, your quick moving duelist. They try to get into sight, and then the rest of the team gets cut off, so you can't actually make an execute happen off of that. But now that there is no Astra, you can do whatever the hell you want. You grab contact, you can absolutely jump into sight, and that's exactly what we see already. There's so much more power that an offense gets here. I wouldn't be shocked to see the meta for at least a little bit here, especially today as we just get into this patch, shift very heavily offensive focus, because it's just so easy to get into sight. The stall time is so much different that the mid round looks incredibly different. Look how much slower we're playing. You're looking for contact early. There's the dart. They get this frag. They almost are certainly into sight.
Oh yeah, and because he was tagged by that dart, Spacecraft wasn't able to get himself out of the line of sight in time, and now Chamber will have the trap to try and slow things down, but Zin, just the jet differential makes itself known there. The site is being flooded right now. There is still a slight defense. Mr. Nader is able to get one picked off. Nice headshot for him, but still low HP on the Brimstone as a result. It's not looking pretty for Alfred right now.
That's not. We'll try to recollect here, put the friendship together, and try to make the picture just a little bit brighter. You know, beauty always in the eye of the beholder, and we'll see what Alfred values it at. We'll get the TP out to clear all of B lobby, so that's the information gained from the shadows. That ain't nobody there, so now they can focus all their energy towards the back of sight here. They've done just that, so Vengeance is good for one.
Yeah, with 30 HP, I mean, you have to avoid all the damage, and it's just not able to happen with this many people on the site. It's Fozzie, the last one standing, going to try and hit a headshot for himself, and although he is able to take one to the grave with him, he's laid to rest. It's 5-0, and Pace doesn't look like they're stopping anytime soon.
It's an interesting post-plant turret placement from Revengeance, but really, it works out. It's a little silly, it's a little goofy, originally, the fact that it's all the way on top of that dice stack, but it makes them swing a little bit further out to CT, and when they do finally swing the turret, they're so committed to sight that it allows for such an easy peek for the post-plant players, and it's this little off angle. It catches them off guard. Alfred State says, what is going on there? And from there, the retake just shuts down.
Oh yeah, and back to the A site they go. I like that they showed a different pacing that round. They didn't rush every time. They wanted to make sure they could play it slower, kind of give different looks so that the rotations, you know, obviously if you show quickly every site, the rotations are going to come that much faster as a result.
You should run.
And then when they vary up their strategy and their pacing a little bit, there's always that second thought in the back of the mind, right? But as I say that, it's back to what worked, the tried and true, the tested, Tumulgogi?
Your guess is as good as mine, brother.
That sounds delicious at least. But several flankers coming in. Tumulgogi's gonna get the opener and also take out the lurkers. Multitasking, he can do it all. Get you a man who can frag everyone.
Ooh, well, not everyone.
Yeah, not
Voids will have the very delayed trade. He'll also kill turret before it trades him. The team gonna be on the post plan. Void's good for another. He's managed to get into the back line. He's into main, trying to get the scaffold player down. He's done so far. As Faldi's good for one. Spacecraft trying to make his way to generator. He will find the right click on the Kiwi. Not just the acidic hell, who's been able to find two, but Spacecraft has the trade. And Alfred State finally, for a very, very long retake, have managed to find their first round.
That's how it's done. You have to get a great lurker like Void. That round looked to be done and over with as the first two picks went the way of Pace, but finally some fight. Alfred State will not be going quietly into the night. They get themselves their first round of the board. Their economy actually bolstered pretty heavily by that one. They will have enough to buy this round, but they can't afford to lose. Otherwise, that loss bonus is no longer there. Smoke Bomb already is kind of struggling to scrape together a buy this round. And Pace, despite having won so many rounds, I mean, they're pretty healthy when it comes to money. They can afford to lose one or two more.
Most certainly here, and we'll get early smoke into mid. So yet again, Pace going to establish his early mid control. We'll see some contested for it this time around from Alfred. Thinking about peeking out, it's going to be that jet, and it's a scary angle to play. Voids will throw the early Hunter's Fury, but not catching tags, so the main players remain safe. Some noise going to be heard there, as they do indeed grab the orb, and Spacecraft finally rewarded for the early efforts archway, but oh my goodness! Kiwi looking for the reswing, and Spacecraft, no fear at all, is able to find a second frag, looking for a third now to jump the fountain. Teammate's going to be their cat. The stem beacon established, but the frags not so much. So Pace, they have mid control, but at what cost?
At the cost of Spacecraft now. 4v3. Spacecraft doing some great work early, especially even after that death. A lot of information being established as well, knowing that most of the team is lurking mid. Everyone can kind of turn their attention. You can already tell the Killjoy making the rotations, just sitting next to door. You don't really do that if you expect the rest of them to be B main, but Void's already pushed all the way through it. He lurked last round, he lurked this round. The rest of the team springs into action, and that's how you trade a teammate out.
The only thing here about playing mid, you have to establish some sort of control either on the B or the A side. I will say Revengeance isn't alive there, so it makes things a little bit harder not to have your KJ. You don't get the turret, you don't get the alarm bot. But they don't have any information there. They're just kind of tunneling their way into the front of mid, and it leaves for those opportunities. They know that Void is lurking. Second time around that he's been on a very deep lurk. It's got to slow down a little bit. Got to think a little bit more. You know, sometimes you get ahead, you start feeling good. The fundamentals start to slip out. They got to bring him back in.
Oh, yeah. Get the coach, give you a little pep talk. Make sure that you're crossing your T's, dotting your I's. We have another change of pace here. Just hoping that someone overextends. I like this. You see Void's getting too aggressive. I wouldn't even say too aggressive, but getting aggressive in his own way all these rounds. Just sit someone at each of the entrances for both the sites. See if he'll bite a third time. See if he gets a little bit overzealous and you get yourself an easy pick to start the round off. This time, though, Void's playing it intelligently. He knows. I've done it one too many times. They might just start to catch on if I let it happen more.
I like those adjustments to the opening here. Rather than putting everybody mid, they've been playing pretty heavily for Cat. They instead play heavy to A main. They know they got this locked down. They know they worked before us. They get this last sword to find and make it happen. And now the smoke's to come through. You get the brim smoke early. Second time around, they've got it. But they can fly straight out of it because there's no pull. There's nothing here to stop them from bringing themselves in, except for Fozzie, who's good for one. But the rest of the team should be able to cleanly get their way into sight.
Oh, Mr. Nader actually getting caught by the lockdown. Can they sniff him out? He should have some teammates to cover his back. Quick shot on the dart. Bomb should be going down here, but as the door gets shot to pieces, Kiwi's kind of stuck in the corner here. He has to swing out, and he puts himself right in the line of fire. 3K already for Fozzie. He's been the thorn in their side for pace so far as they try and move on to the A site.
Lurk's here.
Bomb hasn't gone down. The lurk is here. One headshot. The spray transfer. His teammate chimes in. This is suddenly a 1v2. How did this happen? It all fell apart so fast. They still take the bomb down. It's 10 seconds. The bomb is in the middle of no man's land. Do they have enough time to plant? 5 seconds. The bomb will be there in time. It's up to Mr. Nader as he goes wide. He's not going to land the shot. The spray goes awry, and it's Cynic to close out the round. Pace brings it back from the brink.
It is the ancient parable. When you are weak, act strong. Cynic is the only player left to sight, but he consistently is banging under hell and then moving himself to close box to get spotted, to take shots back, to look like he's two people. Tommel is on the longest lurk. He's taking forever walking his way through mid, and it requires the team on the post plant to burn so much time. Everybody dies but Cynic, and he's able to just stall out to act like more people than he is. He delays that scaffold waterfall to come out and allows for that lurk to happen.
And you were watching that lurk the whole time. I could tell the moment that lurk came in, you were ready to call for it. And that's just what happens when you have a teammate that knows how to play out around like that, knows how to buy time and just stall for the rest of the team to get into action. It's oftentimes it's way too easy to just try and make the highlight reel play yourself instead of playing it a little bit more selflessly and waiting for your teammate to get into position.
Yeah, it's one thing I've really missed about the double duelist meta. The Void's not missing shots through the wall. Get the wall bang on the Revengeance early. So that's where that kill comes from. But I've missed the double duelist meta because we haven't got to see duels actually contribute to the lurk. When you have two entry duelists, one of them can make that play. So you don't have to worry about not having your jet to get on the site. You don't have to worry about not having your raise to get on the site. So it allows for those opportunities, and it really is nice to see. So just interesting meta things to keep note of as we get further and further into this patch.
Oh yeah, Mr. Nader's just playing footsies on Cat right now. Just getting a glimpse before he gets headshot through the wall. Low HP. He's going to have to try and find no healer on his team as well. So that's one thing to note. You take damage, it's going to stick for the rest of the round. You just have to try and play it on a knife's edge. And you can already tell how cautious, how timid he is around this around tree. Doesn't want to give over his life. But Fozzie, man. Fozzie, stop it. Missed just once. And Voice is a madman. Just hopping out of heaven. No chance to plant.
Great discipline from Alfred there. They don't really give them anything. They kind of play a bit for the retake, but they do leave one towards Scaffold, which is Fozzie, who plays around the util quite nicely to get a couple frags. And from there, Pace, they can get the plant down, but they don't really have anything else going for them. They're stuck towards Generator. They can't actually extend to Scaffold because that position's already so dominated that's just easy money for Alfred there. Just great defensive play.
Oh yeah, and with that, the money's looking pretty rough for Pace. This is kind of the first time we've really seen them in any economic turmoil here. Let's see how they deal with it. Do they have any special strats for when they're down on their luck, their economy's not looking so great, or are they just going to play it like the rest of their rounds?
Throw that first ult into it. Interested to see what they do with the rest of these. They got 2 more to work with. They've got the showstopper to get in, but that's, we all know, can be an inconsistent ultimate at times. So not always something to rely on. Do you have the Bladestorm going for sure though, and they will cut noise early B after grabbing orb. Not enough to get to ult, but ever so close. Dark covers to come through so quick, man. They're already there towards Cat, and that can sell a little bit of mid control here for Alfred. So they're not completely sure yet. They have to still play these 3 players towards the B site.
They should have a decent chance in their initial push, as there is still 1 tree. I mean, they're all going to have 5 flooding out of main, and it should just be Fozzie for that initial stoppage. As the utility comes out, though, the rotations will start to come through. Onto the site they go. The Jet is able to clear up a lot of space, and as the Paranoia lands, I mean, there's really only Mr. Nader to try and get a few pot shots in as they tumble down onto the site.
Showstopper going to come out. Interesting. So we put 2 ults into this round now. Wonder if we'll get the Hunter's Fury for the post plant, because they've brought it over towards main now.
Really not a bad situation to be in, though. They have plenty of time to set up for their post plant. Zin does still have the ultimate out, can try and post up on the side here. Omen, you have to try and use that buffed up shadow step, but you're out in the middle of nowhere, buddy. No one's covering you. Knives don't land. 1 is taken down, but as a defender, Killjoy will place that lockdown. I mean, free access to the site, very minimal resistance when it comes to the weapons. They have a long ways to go if they even want to stop the defusal. They still did have the Killjoy ultimate and the utility stopping them. Cynic does kill his teammate off, but if he can stall this long enough, it could be devastating. There's the second Hunter's Fury. He kills the diffuser. They didn't get it to half. This round's over.
We get 2 mollies on Spike. One of them does get shot. The first one doesn't, though. You see it go off there. It takes so much extra time. So Alfred has to start pushing player down to lane. So you mentioned diffuser just dies. Acidic's able to find it with the Hunter's Fury. It's an interesting retake. I mean, really, unfortunately, it just comes down to the timing of that nanoswarm, and it's just well timed from Pace. The fact that they recognize that. They're able to back out towards main. And keeping that KJ alive really does make the difference for them to hold that out.
I do have to slightly criticize I feel like they could have just shot the spam the Sova through the boxes there and maybe stopped him before that second Hunter's Fury charge goes off. But either way, man, that was as close as close can get. Sova even killing off his own teammate to make sure he can stop the diffuser. That's the definition of by whatever means necessary. But already on this round, we have a run it back towards the A site, playing a very aggressively up top as Tumulgogi. He's gonna get taken out though, and Spacecraft is having a great round for himself. Already 2 on the defense, 2 left on the site. Low HP though on the Jet at the very least. They are able to get this initial player trying to swing out from tree. This could be doable. Cynic as well. Another spray. He's got low HP, yellow HP in front of him.
Kill 2 shock bolts as well. Kiwi gonna be caught by voids, and smoke finally there on the lurk yet again. Alfred State's been doing a great job of disrupting that backline main every time this has gone to ASA. Diffuse to come through. Alfred State will take yet another round of 4-7 scoreline we're looking at here, and should have money for rebuys from both teams. Pace will be a little bit scuffed, but hey, that's how the cookie crumbles, and we just saw him take a thrifty, so shouldn't be too alarming.
Yeah, I mean, really, considering how these early rounds went for Alfred State, they can definitely go into the second half with a bit more confidence, because, I mean, I believe it was, an 0-5 start for them, now bringing it to 4-7 with their final round being very doable going into the half. I feel like that's definitely a morale booster, as this one could have started off very poorly, especially being an 1-3 team. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit demoralizing to have a rough start to your season, just trying to fight yourself into playoffs. Just being able to get, a few rounds strung together can make all the differences. In once again onto the site. This time we'll take the initial, do a smoke bomb, wins it out, and already pushing towards heaven. A second one's gone. Mr. Nader is left by his lonesome. Zen, are you kidding me? Stop it. He's got 3 already. 1 more left. It's already going to be closed out for the half. The run it down meta. The Prophet Catnator. You've seen this coming.
It's a very weird defensive setup from Alfred, because I really felt like throughout this half they started to adapt and started to learn that, like, hey, we kind of got to play for retake here, because these guys can just get in and we have no way to stop them. Instead, they dug on the opposite side of the coin and said, okay, what if instead of leaving, we commit further? We commit KJ utility deep into A main, and we just hope the alarm bot is enough to deter. Well, they've learned the hard way that Zin does not care at all about any utility you've got. And I think this is kind of the way this meta is going to be. I mean, Zin's able to just get in so quickly. Alarm bot or not, fragile or not, the shots aren't fragile. They will break straight through brick walls. So there's not really a ton you could do against it. I think retake is going to look a lot cleaner. And it was looking a lot cleaner for them. We just saw them take a retake. But sometimes you change up and it doesn't work out quite how you'd want it to.
You live and you learn. And in this case, you die and you learn. So hopefully adjustments can be made. Obviously, going into the second half, it's interesting to see how the quicker pace in the meta, if Alfred State has also adapted to it, or if they're just more used to the slower, methodical approaches. As I say that though, oh, that's a big paranoia. Peeking out, Zin gets himself a freebie. Not before being traded out though. Fozzie was able to recover in time. That could have been disaster early on, as that paranoia was set up beautifully.
Yeah, same with the paint shells to go over the top of things to really get chip damage in there. Speaking of in there, Smoke Bomb has walked straight into the B site, but walked into the bolts of Cytic as well, so they've lost that map control. About as quick as they got it, they're going to look to try to come back into it anyway. Kind of a late call to come through the fact that, guys, I got to clear, please come to B, and they start coming to B, and now you're dead, so it makes things a little bit more difficult. We'll sit towards mid right now. They smoked to top of mid to play for the B split. Alarmbot's obviously going to give information to Pace that, wait, they're not mid, and, well, Tommel has more than enough information to say they're not A, I'm sitting in A main.
Yep, there's a lot of information being established right now, and extra time for the rotations to come through as well. It really feels like while Pace was turning up the tempo, Alfred State is taking their sweet time right now as they slowly start to work onto the site. That's going to be the Killjoy turret, making sure that information is established. Cytic is there as well, has the arrows. That's going to be big. Oh, that stings. Cytic as well takes another out with just body shots. Revengeance going for the jump peaks. It's going to be some burst. So low. Will lose out the duel initially, but with 10 seconds left, 2 players right next to the site. They'll be lucky if they even get this bomb plant down. I'm surprised they even allowed that on the side of Pace.
Honestly, Mr. Nader, you like that. You got yourself another orb. You got some extra money for the team. Sometimes you just got to take what you can get. I like that from Pace. The early aggression they give to the A site, they say they can't play contact execute if we never give them time to set it up, and that they did not. Instantly took it to him straight down. I don't know if you remember the Earthquake Whirlwind of Utility strat. It was like 5 months ago. It'd be Breach Util, KJ Nanoswarm. Sometimes you get the Hunter's Fury from the Sova into it as well. The Paranoia back when Omen was still pretty viable. People just run it down to the back of Gelato off of utility. That gave me flashbacks. I remembered it right then in that moment for Pace.
Yeah, those are not good flashbacks. Those are really, really dark times. Especially if you're on the receiving end of that, you honestly felt like it was the worst feeling in the world. A little bit of noise being made around A main. Chomulgogi gonna be on the front lines here. They're just going to try and spring through the smoke, but there's 2 players waiting for them. They're going to eat that paint shell too. Retreat while you can, because oh my goodness, that pops.
Okay, this is great from Pace. So we talked about the fact that there's no Astra anymore. You got to figure it out with other things. Pace has. Just there we get an example. They throw the dark cover forward, so that serves as the initial nebula. And then instead of a gravity wheel, they just throw paint shells. So it's not fragiling players, not pulling them in, but it's doing so much free damage. And Alfred, you can't push out of that. There's just no way. You can't push forward there. You get tagged. There's extra damage. There's slowing potential there. I love the implications and the adaptation already being made by this team.
Yeah, there's no healers on either side. So, I mean, Raze gets that extra value. And you're not just doing chip damage to draw out the healer, to draw out the utility. You're doing chip damage to set up kills just like that. A second one on the horizon. Chomulgogi just eating this round. Kiwi is sitting in his smoke on Cat. He's able to get himself a freebie before retreating. There is still 2 players there. I don't know if they can hear him just yet. One will get taken down. Oh, Voids doing a great job of at least recovering what he can from the round before being finally taken down by Revengeance, who gets just that for his fallen comrades. 2 players lost on the eco round. That could potentially have some consequences down the line if they end up losing this round convincingly.
Great early util usage. So I believe the dark cover changes being so much faster once again makes that opportunity for Kiwi to sit in the cat smoke just a little bit easier. The fact that dark cover goes through objects, so you can see it travel across the map and just know where the Omen is. But because it's so much faster now, Kiwi could have thrown that from anywhere on the map. So it allows him to play so much closer and kind of negate any worry at all. I don't know if Alfred's even thinking about that, but
I mean, that's a good point. Yeah, still something you definitely want to note as the new patch changes come in, because there's a lot of little nuance to these strategies that gets changed with each one of these patches, and that's definitely one of them. The Omen gets kind of unlocked to play in a lot more positions that would have been a little bit more susceptible to giving away information before.
Here.
As we see Siddiq
A deep
droning
alarm
out B main. We may just see him try and go for some of the similar pushes that Voids were last round if he keeps seeing no one go B main, but playing it cautiously for now. He's been doing a great job of making sure he's available for the retake so far, and this time around he's anchoring the site. Kiwi, up close and personal. He's got the Sheriff in hand. He hits the headshot too. Smoke bomb gets dropped. That's going to be weapon recovered.
Almost into the B site. The clear's been good so far, and even better if Voids is able to step into the smoke and take both.
No
Raises Siddiq to
way.
fall. He's not
wants
done
another
just yet. I'll
enemy
peek back to
remaining.
CT. Give him a 3K.
No!
All 4 for Voids to come out of CT. The Champions Vandal closed gold for one reason.
Are you kidding me? That was so greedy. It was greedy, but I mean, if you have the skill to back it up, then I mean, hindsight 2020, my results-based analysis says that was the best play he possibly could have made ever. That was a great push there from Voids. He kills both the players in the smoke. He wants to move to the site. You see it there, and then he doubles back for second helpings. And his gluttony will go completely unanswered by Pace there as he cleans up the whole squad.
So early Brim Smoke will go towards Cast. 1 of 3, so 2 left for their actual execute. We'll see which way that ends up going through. Drone should see Alarm Bot, so info yet again. Alarm Bot going to move from last round. He was so far up Archway, I feel like it would be easily cleared. This one a little bit harder, gives you more room to play off of. They don't, but just for the future as well. Just some note-taking, if you will. Alfred will take all this early space mid. Look how much room they have right now.
Oh yeah, not a lot of contention for these for the mid area this time around. As we see, ooh,
Placing swarm grenade.
Tomo Gogi almost gets himself a freebie on the player only rocking the classic. Killjoy almost running out of utility completely here though. Revengeance does have a teammate through the smoke trying to spam a little bit. Traded out 1 for 1, but 65 HP should have some loud footsteps onto the site because they kind of abandoned to help out the mid defense. They're going to give over this site essentially for free. Kiwi, though, making sure it is not so easy. A headshot onto Spacecraft will make it a 4v5 for the retake, and really not a lot of time to get players all spread out around the map. They're kind of just funneled into the boathouse right now.
Yeah, and Pace is going to have the From the Shadows for info if they want it. So they can clear B main pretty easily. They can clear back aside if they want to. That's typically what we see that ult get used to. This time around, they don't feel they need it. They're just going to commit players to go straight into the site here as they've already smoked off B main and that back tower. There's the From the Shadows. All the info boathouse. Now they know exactly where these players are. They're able to bring their way in, but they know that one has to still be towards main. They haven't cleared it just yet. This Nader's found one. Tom, quick trade to come back the other way. And this Nader still to tuck in for another. Stim Beacon for his teammate,
Oh.
but it's bullets from Zin for him as well, so he'll be taken out regardless. 11-5 for Pace as they do come out the victors in that round.
That's what happens when you have so many players towards boathouse, and they were able to hear the chamber teleport towards main, so they were able to just leave a player there as well as smoking it off. Really just intelligent play from Pace to make sure they can slowly and methodically use their numbers advantage to work out the site, and that's what gets them to number 11, knocking on the door of that all-important round 12, giving themselves so much leeway to work with on this attacking or defending side, I should say.
Here. Stay safe.
Sitting
So
back
far,
to the
Zin.
classic, back to the Ares.
Yeah, smoked off every round.
There.
Very hard to get an early peek with that operator. Now that Brimstone and Omen just kind of deny you that area.
I guess there's not a better option, really. I don't love the Brim Smoke Cat every round. I feel like it limits you for the future of your round, but you really can't not smoke it, unfortunately. And Keely, oh my goodness, got smoked
My double's
coming
dead.
into Cat. Smoke will take another one as well. Oh, just all smoke references into this round early. And plant to go down generator.
Spike
Yeah, that one just seems
planted.
like a raw gun difference this time around. They flood the site, they hit all their shots, dropped 2 off of Pace, and Pace did their best to put up a defense there, but this one might just be a save round at this point. Just because, I mean, these rotations are coming in from very far away. We still see the Jet just kind of lurking around, doesn't want to give over the expensive weaponry. Oh, Tomo Gogi can't even pick up the gun and walk away before he gets rushed. Siddiq though, you can't get overzealous with him. Hand caught in the cookie jar. Cynic makes the punishment. and he's just gonna creep out a dodge with his Vandal in hand.
That's safe from pace that recognize we got the round advantage here. We don't have the money advantage, so might as well walk away, keep these guns alive. We'll take them into the next round, and we can eat a loss, boys. All good. No worries there, and that they will. So sit calm. The hunt not going to happen from Alfred State. To recognize our money isn't insane either. Let's not make it any worse. Let's keep the advantage that we do have, and that they do. So back into the gun round we go. Revenge is thinking about sort of weaponry they're going to get in their hands. They could buy all util, and maybe Zing buys a Spectre. I believe that'd be the best alternative. That or a Guardian. Because no one used the Bulldog. That's just the facts.
Yeah, that's fair.
Spectre it is.
It's a fair assessment. Can't even remember the last time I seen like a major, like more than one. I see maybe an occasional Bulldog when it comes to like top tier play, but can't remember the last time I've ever seen more than like one Bulldog bought per round.
Only time I see a Bulldog is at the dog park, and other than that, it is real rifles only. Lockdown will go down, and Alfred State will steal one straight from the pace playbook. So looking to bring themselves in early. They haven't cleared any util yet, so that'll be interesting for later as they try to get the guard in control. But right now, that lockdown's popped, and they haven't really made the space.
Goodbye. Evaporated. Revengeance didn't even try and get out of the sight before that lockdown went off. They could have just walked up and killed Revenge at that point. Instead, they commit the orbital strike just to make sure Heaven is completely swept out. Hunter's Fury coming out. One tag. He's going to try and get a second. Dropped a few players low, but won't get an actual kill off the back of it. It's going to be up to his teammate. And Voids. That is a ridiculous spam right there. How did he even hit that?
Cover going out.
3v3, but I mean, not all 3v3s are created equal. Look at the HP bars right now. Red everywhere. Zin gonna be the frontliner. He tries to put down the cloud burst. Is able to get away from the shots and instead just waits for Void to peek back out. It's just a few shots to clean this round up. But the bomb is ticking slower and slower, lower and lower. Zin has to make something happen here. The shock dart gets one. That's gonna be denial from the Nano Swarm. It's a 1v1 just like that. He has no time. It's over.
Okay, Tristan. I didn't want to talk about it because I figured Pace was going to walk out and win the round anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But that was a very mishandled retake. We see Zin jump to box first. You call him the frontliner. I mean, he definitely was, but significantly frontline above the rest of his teammates. Acidic is trying to throw a drone, and he doesn't give him the time to actually throw the drone. He just jumps his way in. So there's mistake number one. Mistake number two, Zin gets the first frag, says, oh, yes, sir. I'm kind of feeling it low-key. Jumps in, tries to find action all the way up towards A main, and finds action. Indeed, finds a turret, which is a great play into that dark cover from Kiwi. Gets absolutely obliterated onto a very easy swing, and then from there, no one's holding Spike Planner. It's an easy kill with the Nano Swarms, and just very mishandled, man.
Yeah, but this time, this is going to be a really interesting push. Everyone goes out, and Zin gets the headshot. They could try and recover some weapons if they're able to take the second player out with Hunter's Fury. Everyone is locked in. Look at the tags. He's got 3 with it. Are you kidding me, Voids? That's utility usage to a T right there. And Alfred State just guns them down. They're playing target practice right now at B main.
They're playing target practice, but Tristan, they've lost the Hunter's Fury, and look what Pace has gained. They've gained themselves the lockdown. Now, Tristan, what's the relationship between these two ultimates?
Well, the Hunter's Fury can target the lockdown through the walls, and if you're in any of my games, completely miss it anyways.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it won't matter. We'll see as we get into this one, as Alfred State are going to look to take themselves into A main rather quickly. Timon once again going to be playing close contact. Timing in this room was going to save his life here, so I'll throw it out now. It'll get broken, and he'll say, okay, smoke me off, boys. I'm going in.
Oh, Tomogogi, you are an absolute madman sitting here. You could so easily get spammed through the smoke right here, as well as just get overwhelmed. If you're trying to swing out and there's 5 people there, I mean, at best, you have your fingers crossed for a 1-for-1, but Revenge is pushed all the way out of B main. That's going to establish so much info. Everyone can start to flood over to the A site. They haven't done it just yet, which is really surprising to see, especially, like, what is Sova doing on the B site right now? Get yourself over to A. If your homie's already cleared it all out, you need to bolster the defenses here, as Tomogogi does bring out the rocket launcher, which somehow misses everyone. Even walked with it out, which is kind of interesting. Oh, sees the kneecap, won't actually hit it. But like you were talking about earlier, when you said the retake was mishandled, I'd like to see the Sovas just shock dart the bomb next time for these Nano Swarm grenades. I hope to see that. But as Zin posts up with the operator, No one has moved just yet. The info is there. It's all the Zin show right now. He's got the first. He's got a crossfire as well. Through the smoke, Tomogogi's trying to help him out. It's the burst with the pistol. Just distracting as long as possible. They're getting eviscerated right now for Alfred State.
I
Ow.
do like the look from Alfred State.
Match point.
I like the look. We talked earlier about how Pace has been able to figure out alternative forms of utility to utilize instead for those full executes. Alfred says, okay, what if we just peek a little bit, we get that utility out early, and then we work with stuff. They even got the showstopper out, which is pretty dang good for them early before they take their actual execute. The only problem is all the presence is A main, so at that point, the entire Pace team, as you mentioned, has gone on over there. They're at the A site, they're ready to go, and it's just easy frag potential when they do finally flood the site. So there got to be some presence on the other side of the site, but I really do like where the head's at.
Unfortunately, the place their heads is at is off their shoulders after a few of those shots the last round. 12 on the board for Pace. They just need to win 1 out of the next, what, like 5? Something like that. I don't feel like actually doing the math, but they have pretty good odds themselves.
Or
Kiwi kind of stuck in the corner there. Not going to get himself out with the shadow step. Instead, he gets dropped. Makes it a 4v5 early on. Bit of chip damage traded back with a nice little headshot through the wall.
Right here.
But Pace put in an early disadvantage, and oh man, that Odin, if he spammed that wall right there,
Run.
potential lineup. Can he actually hit this? Can he take that lockdown through the wall with that high penetration is the question. Instead, he wants to get himself back to safety. Sniper shots ringing out. It's a 4v2 now. Just like that, the numbers are getting dropped for Pace.
yeah, the cage is going to drop, so they don't have they're locked down to play for the retake, so they kind of have to give the space up. They can't quite get back in off of it. They'll have to do duelist here. Zin's got the op. You definitely don't want to lose it. So most likely back away from this one. Tomo wouldn't be shocked to see him tuck here on the outside of ticket and just play purely for exits. And he'll do, well, just that. So that'll be the end of the round early. We got a couple seconds to vamp before the inevitable end to this one. Alfred State will get themselves in, take their time. Honestly, just finding the frags, letting Pace get a little bit overzealous, letting them walk into them. Their peaks in the mid are quite interesting. The fact that they're willing to play so far in the mid when they have the alarm bot there is interesting. Like, Kiwi is almost always up archway. And it's interesting to see Tomo able to come all the way up through A main and still the B site get taken in such a way. But Alfred State, sometimes, man, you're just better.
Oh, maybe a nice little exit here for Tomogogi. Consolation prize, you know, probably won't make much of a difference considering Alfred State has to win every round anyways, so they should just be able to buy regardless, but still, good for your confidence, right? Getting a nice little exit for yourself. Extra ult orb as well. 5 out of 8 now for that next showstopper to come through. $23 kills for Voids. That's something that kind of snuck up on me.
Absolutely. Revenge did fall earlier, so he does still have the lockdown to put into this round. Interesting point to notice. From the Shadows, still going to be here for Pace as well, and they utilize that on retake in round number 8. So, or round number 9 or 10. Sorry, it was a gun round. So a little bit later than that, but they've utilized it before, so something that they're going to have in their disposal. And not Tomogogi, who's going to look to throw a very deep Roomba, and Voids just takes that space. So now 24 kills, stuck up on the raise.
Yeah, Void's really turning it up in the second half. It looks like Kiwi thinking about just trying to dodge the drone instead of actually shooting it, but thinks better of it as Voids tries to spring through the smoke. Even doing that dry is a little bit too ambitious, even for Voids as well as he's been doing this game so far. But speaking of dry peaks, that gets punished, and Mr. Nader doubles up as well, gets onto the site, and this round has been turned on its head.
Spike planted.
I call this closeout syndrome. That's what I call this.
Yeah.
Pace was looking really, really good. At this point, I think they're really just trying to close it out, and it's called in. It's just a couple misplays here. So Zin yet again gonna look to get the operator out of things and into the next round. Just gotta slow down a bit, boys.
They can afford to hunt this operator too. I mean, it's gonna be difficult to find Zin at this point because he's had so much time to move around. But really, they can afford to lose a few weapons here, trying to take this operator out of the Jet's hands. Doesn't look like it's happening though. Nice little tuck in the corner.
Yep. So we'll get the op out. Back into this round it goes for Zin, and See what the rebuy looks like. They should have money. I mean, they've lost a couple rounds here in a row. That they actually do not. This, please buy for last. Okay, we'll get that decision in a minute. They get a whole minute to talk about it. I love the timeout call. You've got it. You might as well use it. And you definitely can tell the team's been slipping just a little bit here. They had such a lead, and they look like they really did have control of the half early. I think it's honestly a simple mental situation of, yo, we vibing out different, and then just slowly starting to dwindle and dwindle as you just try to make plays. I mean, we see it from Revengeance, right? He peaks early, gets his one, somehow is able to get out of Mr. Nader's grasp and reload, and then just jump straight back in through the smoke against the entire execute just for funskis. That's a closeout play. That's exactly what that is.
Oh yeah, you definitely see that, and of course, when you start to lose a rounds when you're on the cusp of victory, it starts to definitely get frustrating like that. So it's definitely good timing for a timeout as well, just to make sure everyone knows their roles. No one's getting too excited or too nervous come to the end of this game, especially 2 1 and 3 teams. It's got to be especially frustrating if you feel like you're throwing your lead when you want to keep yourself alive, your playoff hopes alive. This is definitely extra important, and the pressure is something that we might have not even thought about too much considering the context.
It's definitely a big series for these teams, keeping yourselves alive. We'll see if Pace are revitalized here. They do go ahead and buy for this round. They don't play for the last. They're going to play around the operator. It's a 50-50 there on what their buy ends up being, so this will be the call. I mean, Zen really has a lot of pressure on the shoulders to make something happen with this big budget gun. Voids over. Oh my goodness, the drone dies just before it clears the Sova. Dart comes through anyway, so they will know where Siddiq is. They've cleared the rest of the sites. I know it's just him. Lockdown goes very early for Pace to deny any sort of B site early execute. Great adaptations from Alfred here. They'll recognize. Look to take A instead. They will have Tummel once again all the way through A main, though, and that trademark is all the way to the top of Cat. But Tummel doesn't play forward. He's got a great space.
Ooh. Revengeance. Oh my goodness, getting a toe shot off there. Gonna have to just work with the 4 piggies this round as Kiwi. Nice paranoia. How many plays did it actually hit there? Everyone's shooting away, so a lot of information established here. Tomoguchi has a fantastic position as well. This could be the backstab they need on the side of Pace. Patience is a virtue. We'll see how long it takes to pull the trigger. One is down. The op's ring out. They're slowly dying. Zin is killing everyone. Tomoguchi puts a few shots in before going down himself. It's a 3v2, all things said and done. Smoke Bomb has to go big here, though. They're aware of his position. He sees the players dropping. It's Fozzie gets put down. 3 kills on the round. 1 more to find, and Kiwi is the man to do it. Pace recover after their timeout, just what the doctor ordered, and that's going to be game 1. Map 1 going to Pace.
Pace will indeed take their map pick 13-10, and yeah, just looked like a closing out issue, man. They take a second, they think for a minute and say, hey guys, can we win the game, please? And that they do. You see them really do start to slow it down. Tama once again able to play through A main because still there's no control outside of Gelato established. They do set up the trademark there, but it's so far to the top of Cat that it allows for such a tuck. And usually we see players tuck towards Wine. That time around it is even further back A main. So even when it does get cleared, you're still getting caught by him. And him having that space really does make all those players, they execute their way into sight. They look towards the right instead. And who do they see? It's another player. And just like that, there's a pinch to be had. The Scaffold player is able to come out and get the job done. It allows for a very early established positioning Scaffold. So the retake is that much easier, comes that much faster. There's no time to establish the post plant.
And as you can see, I do have a little bit of a delay on my cam, so you guys can see the finishing touches on that map there. I didn't realize how strained I look when I'm casting. Jesus, all the veins popping out of my forehead,
stressful
out of
game.
my neck. But yeah, that's what happens when it gets that close at the end. And Pace really doing a great job of recovering. I mean, it's pretty much exactly what you want to see out of a timeout, right? The momentum's against you. Your team needs a breather. The tensions might be high in that situations, and they recover nicely. They bring this map 1 to an end. So heading into this map 2, we have Haven. That's a completely different look. It's very, very different just style of gameplay overall than Ascent. Sure. And we get to see if these teams have a different strategy prepared for us. And as well, with all these new agent buffs, let's see if there's any wild cards to get thrown out there. Obviously, now that the Astra isn't nearly as effective, we might see ourselves at some different controllers to make their mark on this meta. Maybe we just get a bunch of brimstones, though. Maybe we just get 1,000 brimstones, bunch of stim packs. Everyone just goes running down. But hey, I wouldn't mind that one bit. Fast-paced gameplay, not the worst thing in the world. That being said, though, we will be right back. We're going to head to a quick break, but when we are back, we will have an intense game 2 between both these teams fighting tooth and nail to keep their chances alive. Don't go anywhere. We will be back soon.
do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything.
Welcome back, one and all, to the ECAC week number 5. I'm Canada 3K here with Tristan Cast, and we just saw map 1 here of Pace Valorant Gold up against Alfred State College, and it was a 13-10. Pace able to take their map pick, closing out after a timeout, a minute for them to think, to recompress, and we'll decompress all over the opponents. And Tristan, I'll say we got out the map, and it's a little bit of delay for you. I think maybe it was because of my monitor. I don't think it was the stream. I think it was my monitor, perhaps. It doesn't have an insane response rate. What do I do differently?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I do believe with a better monitor, there's no such thing as technical difficulties. And with that being said, when you want to find a better monitor, what better place to look than Lenovo Legion? They know you play to win. To stand out from the competition, you need equipment that matches the speed of your thoughts and action. The Legion Y25 monitor delivers wins in the toughest, most critical situations with its extreme 1 milliseconds response time to its insane 240 hertz refresh rate. The Y25 doesn't just keep up, but it does a lot more. Built for those engaged in vast multiplayer battles at the tournament level. I'm not just talking about Valorant. You're playing League, you're playing Lost Ark, you're playing any of those games coming out. You can hit those all with the Legion Y25. It will be a 24.5 inch FHD IPS panel with built-in NVIDIA G-Sync compatibility. The Legion Y25 monitor is available at Lenovo.com and other fine retailers. What are you waiting for? Could you ask for anything better?
No, certainly not. Certainly not, Tristan. And yeah, if you're seeing delay right now on Tristan's cam, it's got to be the monitor. So make sure you head over there to Lenovo.com and those other fine retailers and getting yourself the Lenovo Legion. But we've got ourselves map 2 here coming up in just a minute. It's going to be Haven. We talked just briefly about it before we did indeed throw to the break. And Haven, a map that is not a set in any means, but can play similar at times, can feel kind of similar. And we'll see what these competitions end up looking like. We mentioned the fact that we are on a new patch today, 4.04, and we've already seen the implication of that. A massive agent for Haven has been the Astra, the fact that it's a big map, it's got 3 sites. She has 5 stars. It's kind of good, but now she has 4 stars. Now she has a lot of cooldowns, and now they don't really like her that much. But I will say that some teams in EU, not preferably, have been playing Brimstone for fun. So if you did lose your main controller, I would think you'd go Brimstone because that's the other alternative that you know. Kiwi will once again go back to the Omen, but they played on Ascend. And comp looks pretty similar. Only difference is going to be the throw away the Rays, and they'll say, Tomogogi, please play Sky instead. We want extra flashbangs.
Absolutely, Sky. Those flashbangs are always going to be invaluable, especially when you're hitting some of these sites through the narrow corridors. Just being able to have the info on those blinds when you actually get onto the site is just always really useful to have. Kiwi picking up the Omen again. Gonna stick to that, and Cypher this time for Revenge. And Cypher there's so many different options you have when you're playing this map on the Cypher, so can expect him to flex around the map. There's so many different spots that Cypher can be effective with here too.
Yeah, as the chamber started to become more and more prevalent, we started to see him really fade off this map. The fact that he's got the operator, so he's good for long range C long. Same story with A long. So we're gonna see 2 Cyphers is pretty interesting. It takes you back to the old days, man. These compositions feel very, very good. The Sky's a little nuanced, so that's the change. But other than that, man, I really do feel nostalgia in a way. I feel like we're back in the older days here and things.
Yeah, that's the classics before all these shenanigans were introduced with the especially the latest patch, man. It's become so crazy. All these new buffs and moves going around. I know before the game you saw me scrambling to try and process all the different ways these new abilities can be used, but this is very caster friendly in this latest patch.
Well, not if you're the play-by-play caster, because we're moving a lot faster. So sorry, Tristan, you got more work today. You got some faster comms to make. I hope you got the Rap God voice on point. And we're going to get pretty dang quick up into grass right now. Pace University not looking for a default anywhere else. Yeah, already out of window they go, and they'll look to work early into this control. Schneider's going to be up close and personal. Here's the smoke. Okay, he's got a smoke of his own back, and here comes the execute.
Oh, he just eats that blind like it's breakfast. Yum, yum. First meal of the day is the most important. Unfortunately, that one was led, and that didn't exactly agree with his system. He's going to be dropped early on, 4v5, as the rest of the team doesn't even bother to stick around on the site. Just all goes back to window. They're hoping to play this one as just the post plant purely. Just going to spam through that smoke, if there even is a smoke, by the time someone's on the bomb. It's so difficult to actually work these positions out now, especially shock dart number 1. There goes the diffuser, not even able to get it halfway. There's so much time they need to actually defuse this bomb, and they are getting shot to bits, taken apart right now, as Tomogogi feasts on the last one of the round. 3K for him. It's flawless for Pace.
Very interesting stuff. I will say the only unfortunate thing for Alfred is that they are playing their Brimstone onto the B side in that round. So literally, Pace University walk in, they take B site off of that first frag, they plant, and they plant themselves into mid. And since that's the controller gone already, hey, we could just all get off site. We have full sight line of spike, and that they did. They play it perfectly. And I think there's a potential that they have the read there. The fact that Brim might be on the B site because he does have a shorter bracer, which means to throw smokes to both sides, he needs to be in the middle.
Yeah, it's him going down first that round, especially with not really being able to do much, just getting blinded and sitting in the corner waiting for death. We see very quick onto the A site. They're going to try and meet the aggression with aggression head on better than anything. The blind is there, but Revengeance takes out the imposter. Smoke Bomb was waiting in the back of the site, hoping to kill the blinded player, but instead just flooding through. Pace University is not taking their foot off the gas. It's another flawless 2 rounds in, and 0 members have died.
All right, so once again, it's a little bit of deja vu. This team runs it down 2 rounds in a row. They win 2 rounds in a row. Same story as of Ascend. But remember, that scoreline did end 13-10. So if you're just joining us here on the broadcast, it looks worse than it is, at least right now. And here we'll get the bonus from Pace. Voids and Fozzie not going to buy, so there's potential for opportunity. Smoke's also stuck with the Judge, so unless they peek through. Okay, there we go. The buy comes through. It's a little bit late. Fozzie going to be on the Sheriff, so that's going to be the Lone Ranger here. But other than that, this Judge play's got to do a lot, or this bonus has a lot of potential.
Oh yeah, Spacecraft will be the man on the site to do the job. Gonna try and throw out the blind, but there's not a lot of room to work with. Smoke Bomb though, he has the shotgun in hand. He's got 1, he's got 2, looking for the 3rd. Nearly grabs it, and Alfred State has put their foot down.
That Judge has to be huge there, and that it is. Gets leered, still nonetheless able to hold strong in the angle, able to find 2. So Pace, they try to play fast yet again. It's a great read to come through from the Cypher to say, okay, they've gone B quick. They've tried to work over towards the C site. It's got to be A. It's got to be A. And he's right. So he's able to find the judge frags, and the potential he needs is there. Pace just going to be looking to take this one to the C site. Just get a quick plant down. If you're seated in a next round, we better.
Oh, yeah. Lucky to even get the bomb plant down, honestly, from Siddiq, as he did actually waste a bit of time kind of doubling around towards mid. Tries to swing out, will get very easily put down. Not really much of an opportunity there, especially with the Spectre. But money nonetheless. Being able to put that in your back pocket, I mean, it was just a bonus round as well. Not the worst thing in the world.
All right, so the implications of Fozzie without a bye are not too shabby because the round comes through quite swimmingly. Alfred State will put Fozzie onto a Spectre, which means that he will have himself an operator into the next round. Not to this one, but into the next. So they'll hold strong for now in Pace University. Good for the rebuy. Throwing around what rifles right now. Got to be for the skins. Someone bought the new skin pack. I can just tell. So they'll move around here. Fozzie, okay, he does actually go with
Operator,
the Spectre down in case he gets rushed. I like this play from him up C-Long.
Oh, and he's going to get tested here. Opportunities. Do they actually see him with the operator with that jump peek? Out comes the dart. Oh, barely manages to cover that one up.
Oh.
Through the smoke. Nail Siddiq. That's exactly what you like to see if you're the Jet player trying to make something happen at C-Long. That even deters the aggression. Everyone just doubles back. They want no part in that. Oh, what? Dude, the wall of revengeance. Are you? That's a ridiculous shot. That's ludicrous. Said everyone else just booking it towards the A site. That little misdirection there. Smoke bomb. It looks like he knows of the presence. He's aware that this is happening right now. Tries to dodge the dog, but the dog sees him regardless. They know he's on site. He just wants to take the fight himself. He'll trade 1 for now. Delay the plant just a little bit longer. Rotations are coming through.
Beautiful timing
all
on
members.
the alert from Revengeance. He's ran himself all the way up grass, and now he's here just in time.
Uh-oh.
He's turned to Sova. He has all the info he could possibly need. Good ball, but he has no bullets! He came with no resources and suddenly kicked straight out the party. So Spacecraft, hey man, it's BYOB and you brought nothing. So into the site they're going to go. Retake should have some potential here as Pace very much caught off of the site. You have util to work with though.
That was supremely unlucky, we're going to say, but Spacecraft actually gets himself a freebie. That's crucial. He gets the overheal now. He was low on HP. He wants to take the fight. It's halfway. Gunshot for gunshot. Tit for tat.
Oh.
It's a tit to the head. One and 3 now. These rounds are ridiculous. Coming down to the wire.
Just a massive play from Zin. You talked about it a little bit before last map, is that a couple of those executes from Pace were really just gun difference. Able to come in, find frags, and win out rounds. Alfred does a good job of dealing with the lurk pretty early. They do get fortunate the fact that the magazine just kind of agrees with them there in regards to that, but it doesn't matter in his shots, and that he does. So Alfred's taking to be back on the save. We'll put voids on the Marshall C-Long. The read on the Marshall's been good. But, oh, he peeks early, gets no context, says, they got to be running it down on us, right? They know we're poor. And we're wrong in the thoughts. He gets back in time. Second chance to peek. And he'll peek a drone. He'll take a shot out, and he's got to head for the hills.
Oh, yeah. Run for your life is in. We'll just dive into the back line. But, oh, Siddiq. What a shot there. Smoke bomb now able to recover the weapon as well. The Phantom too. A lot of money now being transferred over. Not until Revengeance just runs him down. No fear in his eyes whatsoever. The rest of the team's location has been established. It's one knife to the head. The second one very nearly piercing the noggin. Up top, goes in, and he's just so quick with these knives. So quick with the shots. How do you track him on sight? Mr. Nader felt like he never stood a chance there as he just got danced on.
Interesting neural theft to come through for Smoke Bomb. I think it's a little bit overzealous, but I mean, he does get the first frag, and that neural theft does solidify the fact that nobody's lurking. Everybody's on the C site, and you see how quick the execution comes through, or the retake execution comes through from Alfred to try to make all that space to the back of the site. But you're just underprivileged in terms of firepower. There's not really a ton that you can do into that round, and I like that they work with what they got, but now they won't have their own stuff going forward. Plenty of other roles to work with, though, on the board, of course, and the op will be right where it needs to be up A long. Smoke's going to be there. No shot through it. Spacecraft's going to get the contact early. Same with Fozzie. Good for one.
Oh, going for a second shot. Very nearly gets it too. 20 HP to work with, but luckily 20 HP with an operator isn't nearly the same thing as 20 HP with a rifle. You can make a lot happen on low HP as long as you get that one glimpse and hit your initial shot. Instead, the aggression has been quelled, though. 3 players remaining on the A site. Smoke Bomb has such an important role to play right now, though. Everyone's walking. He won't really get much of the audio cues, but if his timing is right, this could be devastating. And he'll hear it now. Smoke Bomb walking around. Never saw it coming. Tomogogi gets assassinated behind everyone. Siddiq, though, crucially, if he were to drop there, that could have been the round over. Flat out. Bomb should be able to be recovered now. Fozzie's still sitting on 20 HP, so it is a 3v4. But not the healthiest members on Alfred.
And Pace University going to reset their default here, and they'll work it over towards that A site if they're making initial contact C long. So they've pulled some players over towards B. Alfred not too sure of where things are right now, so they just kind of have to sit here on the defense and split out as best they can. Dark cover will go to the B site. Mr. Nader's going to expect for a B site play. The second one now onto the A site, though, should give all the info they need, and Spacecraft is still tucked towards short.
Oh, the initial shot just uses that to make sure he can get the man advantage, even with that Kiwi just taken out. Great utility usage there in Zen. He's getting distracted, picked apart, the dismiss, like you said, picture perfect.
It's so rare we get fun little utility interactions like that. It just, especially not highlighted. It's just nice to see come through. The dismiss straight into his face. You have to look at me. You have to try to swing me as soon as I get out of this thing. But my teammate, well, he's heaven, buddy. He's got checkmated, and I've won the match. So that'll wrap up that round right there. Defuse to come through is offered a good for the retake. They lose an ult to come out of things, but an ult well worth it. It kills the planner. It shuts down the post plan. It gets them around, which is always the most important thing at the end of the day. You don't have rounds, you don't win the game. It'll balance eco out a bit for them. It'll get them up in the eco, and now Pace University thinking about the force. Waiting for the confirmation here. Okay, they'll force a bit. The other two will stay down to 2,000, so they're really buying down more than anything.
Oh yeah, Sova having the defensive Hunter's Fury as well. Going to be really valuable. If he's able to tag someone with the drone, it can be an all but guaranteed kill with someone who's really experienced with the Sova. Instead, just playing this one a little bit slower. Ren's just working his way up mid. The dart goes out as well. 2 players sitting A side. But as the camera's there as well, they're going to need to move forward to actually take that one out. Oh, the recon bolt will catch one. Very nearly spammed through the wall.
Spike is currently working into C. The Omen's already through. And he's caught the op. The timing from Kiwi. If you have that space, you got to take it. I don't care if you have Spike or not. He just recognizes the fact that he's there. And if you're there, you're got to be there. He's able to find the frag. He'll take it home. And that site picked up. Now to play the post plant. They'll throw them from the shadows here to get that lurk control taken care of. Doesn't have to cancel it because nobody's there. So they've got space long, but they left the jet all alone towards site. And well, now there's nobody's site. It's completely open.
Voids even has the presence of mind to turn around for the late lurker through mid. That's insane to actually think about a situation like that. And because of that, so much space being opened up. The Hunter Fury's coming out, trying to defend the bomb. How long can keep them removed from it through the smoke? The lineups are there. How long does the smoke even last? When will it dissipate? Not quick enough. The bomb is gone, and this round is over.
One enemy remaining.
This is a good time to mention that the smoke radius is larger for Brimstone.
Oh, that's actually
not that it wouldn't matter. It covers that gap anyway, but
yeah, makes it a
little bit bigger, so it's harder to jump through.
Yeah, a little thicker, but one thing to notice too is that there's a bit of a breakdown in communications there from Pace University. I mean,
yeah,
even though, yeah, I mean, you have to be aware of the possibility that they can creep through garage. Yes, the dart did catch the jet and had her running back towards mid. But if you're smoked off for that long, you just have to be aware that they could possibly sneak past you. And the jet just staring down long, not a care in the world, not having any idea that the Omen could just be creeping out on her, was put down very easy. It's an expensive weapon to lose, and the round followed. 3-4 now.
Pace throws the Omen ult to get themselves into C long, and then there's miscommunication there between, okay, well, Lurk potential from Revenge is going to be gone just as quickly as Fozzie is able to find the knives to the head, and that should probably call to execute this. There's no Lurk that's going to be able to get anywhere in bound.
That jump spot was very nearly punished. That looked dangerous. Mogogi now, very long blind, and Spacecraft is able to use that dismiss. He gets around the corner, a second headshot. Spacecraft going nuclear this round. We've seen so many times teams having to play for the retake because it's so difficult to actually stop that initial push. This time around, though, Alfred State just loving it.
Yeah, and Pace kind of played directly into its hands if you think about it. The fact that they throw their lurk up C window, you know the Cypher's been lurking. They die. Alfred has all information. Hey, they got to be hitting A here. We already saw contact on utilities. They're able to just stack players to the back of the side, and it's easy rotations to come through for them. Pace almost spoon feeds them the round.
Oh yeah, and in comes the flying jet. Couple of knives from the sky. Fozzie closes this one out 4-4 now as we see a pretty similar trend to last game where Pace University gets off to a lightning quick start, and Alfred State, once the gun rounds really get going, start to find themselves back into the match.
Okay, we got an earlier time at this time around for Pace. They've recognized, hey, things are starting to slip a little bit. Let's stop and think for a second, which is not a terrible call. It's just been a little bit of an issue with just bits of coordination. It feels, honestly, just once again, not a closing out issue, of course, because we're nowhere near closing out, Tristan. We're 8 rounds into the game. But the same sort of concept of, oh, you're right, man. It's a spike rush game. The same sort of concept of these players just getting a little bit off sync. The spacing gets a little bit off. We talked about the fact that the post plant over towards C just looked like it got miscomm. The fact that the Omen used an ult to get to C line, everybody else says, well, we're coming with you, bro. Buddy code, we stick together. So the fact that miscomm comes through, I think is just a thing like, guys, we got to chill out just a little bit. We've got to talk to each other. Like, we know what we're doing. We just want a map. Let's just stop and think a little bit. And so that time is going to come through. I like to see it come through. I'm interested to see if they buy or not. They might buy down here and just be willing to take a round. Okay, we'll force it up. Ooh, and for the first time in forever, I've seen a Bulldog.
Oh, no. Not happy about that one. A sinner's weapon, no? A Bulldog, from what I know about casting with you is you're usually not a big fan of the weapon.
If you can hit the headshots, it's not too bad. It's a question if you can hit the headshots or not. I think, never mind. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's just options that
hey,
are...
Observer, can you hit tab real quick?
I've got your trail.
Yeah, I don't think he hits the headshots.
Okay, dude. That's not... Oh, no. What is wrong with this guy? Bully alert. Not enough of it. We gonna smoke off one side of the site. He gets himself a free... Hey! Headshot hit! Whoa, Dookie! Where you at?
I'm sorry.
Where you at? Heard you were talking that good on Kiwi.
Sometimes you gotta motivate him, man. Sometimes you just gotta motivate him a little bit. Okay, well, not that much motivation. Bring it back just a little bit. As Boy's trying to bring back around, he's good for 2, and he's still got all of his health left to work with. One's gonna be on a late lurk. The other's all the way over towards a link. There's actually potential for this round to be had. It depends on the timing of when he gets here, and the time when the spike runs shorter and shorter and shorter. So he's got to start to tap eventually. He's going to be in a split position. The other player's caught off. He's got to at least get this thing to half, and Siddick's going to have the angle. So the opportunity was there. The door slowly closed on it. Just had to move a little bit quicker, and Pace University 5-4. They'll find the round, even with the Bulldog in their hands.
Man, that was an interesting round, but that late lurk too was at such an awkward angle. It's very hard to anticipate someone coming from the garage area when the bomb is planting for A-Link, but works out in the end. 4-5 now. Pace University continues their trend of calling a timeout and winning the subsequent round. So at the very least, they're productive timeouts. They're not just calling them and not really switching up anything. Fozzie back in the operator. Well, this is a nice angle for him. If they want to actually get any action up long, they're going to have to swing wide. Knife's edge right now.
He's in front of box, too. That's hard to get out of.
There comes the drone.
Side, so I'm actually trolling you.
Oh, okay. He just dry peeks it. Wow.
Peeks before drone again. It's the same miscoms. It's the same thing. We saw this on Ascent 2 on the retake. even after the timeout.
Yeah, I mean, really, not much you can justify that one with. The drone was right there. It's not like you were in a situation where you had to get out at the moment. There's no utility pressuring either. Revenge does see the shoulder peeking out. Oh, very nearly gets that headshot, but not enough being teased there to actually land the shot as Voids just creeps out of garage and just decapitates Tomogogi.
Good dash.
And man, these are inches missed on some of these shots. Voids though, he'll hit it square on the money. Revengeance does get him with the late lurk, but he's all alone, stuck in garage. Very lonely place to be right now with this bomb stranded on the C site.
Ooh, 2 low players. They both started to peek him as well. Just Fozzie's got the quick op shot, and he gets out the bad shots early to hit that one and close out the round. So tied up 5-5 now. I wouldn't be shocked to see Fozzie maybe move the op angle here because he's put it too long. Has been seen. Got to change things up in that he will. Take a mid instead, which is a great place for it. Paces repeatedly worked their way up grass. When things haven't been working, they've looked to go into the B site. I love this switch up from Alfred.
Yeah, I mean, it's this is still like really neck and neck, considering the back and forth these maps have had. And they were right to make this the match of the week. By the way, this is actually getting really down to the wire and exciting for a lot of these rounds, and feels like never really feel like one team has got too much of an advantage at this point. As Mr. Nader, he's going to put himself at kind of an open position here. Makes it very difficult. The trip is there through the wall. Very nearly gets the second, but runs dry on the clip. Out comes the Molly, going to try and pin him in the corner. It's the shock dart to actually do the job. Oh,
nice.
Just cooking.
So good. That util phenomenal to stop that. They know that they're low money. They know they're going to try to play for some cheese. It's usually the B site. They're absolutely correct in the guess. Six able to find one, and they'll back away from it too. Alfred State recognizing they don't need that. They'll put Fozzie on the angle instead. He's good for the frag. Alfred. It's like a game of Pokemon, man. They've evolved right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even... You say it's a guess, but when it actually works out, it's a read is what we call it. It's a guess when it doesn't work. It's a read when it does, baby.
Yes,
sir. Love me some results-based casting. So that's a great play there from Alfred, though. Just knowing the tendencies, just knowing how Pace University likes to switch things up whenever they feel pressured. And that, yeah, like you said, that trip being planted on that site, that's something you have to do well ahead of time. So they saw you can definitely tell they planned for it. They saw it coming a mile away. This Fozzie will be the first man tested. Nice little flick there to take out his counterpart. Zin can no longer feel so comfortable in this matchup. I mean, at first it looked like Zin was just taking it every time they went up against each other, but really this is the evolution of Alfred State, like you were talking about, unfolding in front of our eyes. They're no longer losing these fights they were the first game. They're feeling a little bit more confident in their swings. Their strategy is a little bit more airtight than it was before. Out comes the Hunter's Fury. This could be big. Tags one, almost kills him, but I don't think he has the range. You can't reach that from garage, buddy.
Hey, man. I'll never fault the man for trying.
Yeah. A few more inches does matter in that case.
I just didn't play Fozzie here. Well,
you
learn your lesson quickly. Good for 3 and make it 4. The Heaven Anchor, good for all the frags. It's 7-5 as Alfred State will take a lead for, I believe, the first time in the series.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I wouldn't say the first time in the series because it was 6-5, but you know, close enough.
They continue their first time lead another round.
Yeah. Going into the second half. This is a big round though. Pistols obviously are always big rounds just because of how it affects the economy, but really Alfred State, if they win this, they're feeling very confident to close this map out and bringing us to the map that everyone was kind of looking forward to. The wacky changes in Icebox.
Yeah, I do hear the bouncy castle actively being inflated outside just in case we do get to Clowntown. But for now, well, we found Clowntown here on map number 2 as we're going to get an absolute 3-on-5 split push down in Alfred State. They'll send some players long and the rest are going to take it straight to him into short. Decipher in first. Instantly traded though to come space. Another not in his future.
That was so close. And I mean, he's completely surrounded here. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when he gets put down. And it seems to be pretty early on here. Still 3 alive for Pace University. Great showing for their first round of the half. And I mean, it seems that has Alfred State won a single pistol in this matchup so far?
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
I honestly don't think they have.
I'm very sorry.
It's been pretty rough when it comes to these first rounds for Alfred State. At the very least, for the opening rounds for both maps, they for sure lost those because they got off to similarly rough starts for both Haven and Ascent. But this pistol round continuing the trend, unfortunately for them, they're going to need to shore that one up if they want to start these rounds off stronger. And oh, through the wall! That's the perfect setup! Beautiful! Gorgeous! It's Fozzie. Only the classic to work with. It may just get one player with their back turned, but the longer this round goes on, the more likely they are to suspect the late lurk here. Revengeance, though, will get taken out. Nice little headshot. Little economy chip damage there. See if he can even get another. Around the corner is in. It's the other imposter duel, but this time around in with just a slightly better weaponry. Only has to land the 2 body shots.
All right. Enough games. Give me the gun round or something close to it. It's not a bonus if you have an op. It just doesn't count. So
Fair enough. Interesting to see them bringing the op out so early too.
You don't expect it, surely.
You could wait.
I think it's gonna be C long.
Actually, I know you can make that jump a jet.
There.
You just gotta be different, bro. Sorry.
Yep. I know there's a few ways you can actually do it without even having to use any abilities.
Yeah, you can boost it too.
Kind of tricky to do though. 2 pot shots. Mr. Nader not able to get him through the wall. That's 400 credits lost to that early drone. Doesn't really get a lot of map space off of it either, so really important piece of utility off the board early on here for Alfred State. At the very least, hey, they didn't peek ahead of it this time and die, so
The little victories. Taking a sweet time here in this round. Not really peeking anything just yet. Thinking about the default, they haven't made a ton of presence, but they are thinking. It seems like the strat call just came a little bit later into this round, and now they'll set it up to head A, where Tomogogi's going to be playing under 2 trips. Interesting one-way setup for the Omen back with sight. They look prepped for this fight.
Man, this is such a weird spot for Tomogogi. They don't see him at first. He is able to get one, but because he doesn't have the same kind of weaponry, maybe if he has a Phantom there, he goes big. But he's hopping out of heaven. You maniac, Revengeance. 30 HP. Unfortunately, that does not work out nearly as intended, but man, that was some wild boy shenanigans there. Molly going to buy plenty of time, too, for this bomb to go down. They have a lot of time to try and set up the post plant now as a result. Hey, look, we get the brim stims.
I think that dart scanned too.
Yeah, I'm very surprised he didn't just shoot out of heaven instead of hopping down there.
Yeah. Once again, I think that just speaks to some communication things. I think you might have expected the rest of the team to come through CT and just wasn't set up for it. So, same sort of thing. Great dart to come through early. Not avoids tucks it and jumps into CT though. Good for one. Okay. Oh! Flicks him right off. No more than bugs to him. A 3K to come through. 8-7 for Alfred State, who were able to cleanly take the anti-bonus, and Siop off the board. Came out early and, well, left just about as quickly.
Nasty boy, Voids. Wash your mouth out with soap after that one. That was a dirty couple of shots there at the end, and that has to feel terrible to die to. Man, that last flick, especially when you have an op and you just get domed like that. Oof. Yeah, not going to feel very good, but, now Pace University reinvigorated, or Alfred's, I keep wanting to call him Alfredo, like it's pasta or something. That would be kind of a nice name, though, for a team.
I mean, might as well be, man. This map, they've been getting saucy.
Okay, that's a bar.
Found them.
Long range dot can establish a whole lot of information there. Having those lineups on C-Long is so invaluable when you're playing the Sova. Just making sure you can see them, because if you actually get rushed and you're not prepared for it with the Sova, you don't exactly have a lot of utility to stop it. It takes a minute for the to pull out the shock darts and to actually get them lined up. And Revengeance! Man, these little timing lurks, they can pay dividends, especially now that you see with the neural theft, everyone's so far off. Even doubling back to try and take that weapon, but he might have taken a little too long! One player gone. Revengeance just hightails it out of there. Tail tucked between his legs. Wasn't expecting the immediate turnaround to A, despite having just gotten a pick there. So really an interesting move from Alfred State as well. Like, knowing that your teammate just died long, you immediately turn your entire team there to rush it.
We talk about that later, as we're gonna get straight into the action. Revenge, just Judge and a dream.
Oh,
Spike down.
2. That's great. 3 on the round already. Revengeance doing what he can. Acidic even manages to sneak out onto the site. They're lined up for him. Oh, Alfred State. The judge, jury, and executioner there.
Okay, so Alfred State gets timing. Smoke bomb gets timing. He's the lurk. He dies for Revengeance, who pushes up all the way through A to clear all this space to get information. When he gets that frag, he then starts to leave because he recognizes, hey, they're not here. I killed the lurk. And Alfred takes that read as, okay, clearly they're going to think we're going CT, or we're going C because our lurker just died over towards A, tries to come back, and then just they find 2 players trying to grab a gun way after the expiration date of when they should be getting to it, and just kind of breaks it apart for them.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much a very awkward scenario where you see both players knife out. Could have gone much worse, too. Luckily, Revengeance was able to get away. He even picks up the judge on his way out, and that really is kind of what won him the round in the end. But yeah, a game of inches, really, the butterfly effect. If he ends up dying as well with his knife out, that round looks very different in the end. Very
early contact in walking straight to A.
Rough buy coming out.
Card scans 1, no one can really take advantage off of it because they're forced so far back. Good utility from Alfred to get them out early. Spike to be planted. And really can't help for much more this round. Great dart for Revengeance to pick up another from heaven.
Yeah, when you're all scammed by the dart like that, it's so hard to get away. And Acidic, it's a sea of blue in the kill feed. Not even close that round. And I mean, considering how well Alfred State was looking, I'm thinking nothing but pasta. It's Alfred Plate, Alfredo State. Ay, ay, ay. You want to get pasta after this, Cat Nader?
Ask me on a date on cast, Tristan?
Absolutely. I'm trying to butter your biscuits, my friend. Trying to. Okay, well, I just got rejected on cast. Feels bad, man.
Wow.
Four ultimates up for Alfred State, though. This is their time to shine. Void's got the Hunter's Fury. Knives could come out anytime. In fact, it already looks like Fozzie's looking to take those out. Doesn't even buy up this round. Even the Orbital Strike for the post plants. They have a lot of delay tools right now as well. With the Molly, with the Shock Darts, Hunter's Fury, Orbital Strike. A lot of ways to make sure that plant does not get diffused. As I say that,
good for 1. So they've killed the lurker, and now once again, the A site going to be taken. Fozzie, good for the frag. So they've got the early frag to get into site yet again. They've got the plant down. Now can they hold on to it?
Questions. Oh, Kiwi, great little flick there, locking onto the head.
Good flash.
You can tell these teams are both crisp with their aim right now. Nearly gets Fozzie under heaven. Acidic is able to take one himself, but he's getting knifed to the back, and Kiwi on his lurk is the man of the hour. Could have gone very badly as Fozzie was feeling himself with those knives, clipping down one after the other. Shot in the back though, and Kiwi is able to shore things up for Pace University.
I really would like to see an Alfred timeout here. If anything, I just like to see a slower default, because this is the 3rd round in a row they've tried to get into A and have just gotten absolutely obliterated on the retake. The post plan has just not been working out for them, and it's almost time to just try a new site. I know they're scared of the op over towards C long, but it's been a long time since we've seen that operator come out. I mean, you just got to work more of the map, man. You're only over towards A. There's no contact anywhere else. You know that if you're Pace, you know they're not going to play anywhere else if they don't make any contact. They've got to be back towards A, and they're right every single time. So Pace just has so much more going into the round. It kills so much extra utility for Alfred, and they're not able to get anything done. So a slower default here. You got to work more of the map.
Yeah, and I mean, there are many ways to force the op off the angle, especially if you have a Sova. I mean, just send the drone out first. They keep peeking before the drone. They should just try and maybe just wait for that next time. It might give them some better results, but looks like they're still a little bit too nervous to actually pull the trigger on the C site. Instead, just kind of a more, like you were saying, slow default, hoping to try and get themselves some positions worked out. But just the elbow is all Zen needs. Void trying to do a little bit of fancy footwork there to draw out the op shot. Instead, he'll be taking that to the arm. And I'll be taking it to the grave. Tomogogi, though, has snuck up. Does he use his trigger discipline? Waits for one to pass. No. He gets checked. Fozzie clears him. The discipline is there. One taken out. The second as well. The operator has arrived, and this is why they were scared of the C site, because they will get absolutely stomped if they're not careful. Now Smoke Bomb has taken himself a very forward position here. Cytic, though, gonna be anchoring strong. Not gonna allow this round to fall, slip out of their hands, and Pace University is at 11, knocking on the door of a 2-0.
I'd like to take this time to formally apologize to Alfredo State. I said, you guys might want to try a new restaurant. The garlic bread is way better at the C site. There were rats in the kitchen. They got in. The cheese was musty. It was not a good time to execute. That's my fault. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Isn't the fancy cheese supposed to, isn't like the good cheese supposed to be musty though? That looks to be more like Kraft Singles, if I'm completely honest. Samogogi is just constantly walking up where he shouldn't be, where they're not expecting him as well. I can't even see what's happening
in the dark
right
cover?
Yeah, this guy is in the sauce right now. As he hears all, he's gonna hear all these footsteps, by the way. He's gonna hear all these players running A. So as they go up long here, that should have been plenty of audio cues.
Tripwire destroyed.
Tripwire is done though. He's able to tag one. Maybe he shoots him through heaven.
We've seen some good darts in the past here. We've seen some pretty dang good darts over the top to allow for
Look at this rat, though. Look at this rat going up long, dude. Oh, he's got another.
I mean, it's Ratatouille. They're chefing it up. I'm going to go find another. Fozzie, quick trade, though. And they'll stall the push for now, but contain just a little bit here. We got a lot more work to be done. It's out of CT already. Right click is missed.
Oh.
That right click is huge going into this round. It's not going to find anything, but Tomo will. Fozzie with a quick trade.
Oh, stop.
Okay, let the rat do it all. Oh, my goodness. Send him out of the hat so I can give him a big old high five. It's 12-8.
Who cares about Alfredo State when you've got Linguini over here with Remy on his shoulders, ratting it up, moving through long. He gets all, what was that, 4 on the round, nearly the ace. And, I mean, those shots were just so crisp. You see this timeout come out, but is it too little too late? You wanted this timeout 2 rounds ago when it was still 8-10. It's 8-12 now. You can't afford to make another mistake.
You most certainly cannot. And you got a gourmet food Tomo's producing. I don't know if you can afford to eat on the map any longer.
Another 30 seconds for them to try and cook up something here. Let's see what Alfred
maybe they should try red sauce. Like maybe it's the Alfredo is the problem.
That's true, actually. I mean,
because if you think about it, their side takes have been a little too creamy. They've been playing in pretty quick. They haven't been utilizing a ton of the map to get utility out early. Red sauce is a little thicker, right? It has a little bit extra control before they actually do end up in that execute. So maybe they got to go a little less free flow. You know what I mean? Maybe get some meatballs in there. The meatballs in this analogy are a couple of frags. It's not a good analogy, but you guys understand. Just, you got to default a little heavier. You got to find frags, then work off of them. It's just been a fact that Smoke Bob's been trying to lurk for those frags to find the meatballs, and well, he can't really form them. He press them into the ball all the way, and they're just they're kind of falling apart.
Oh, looks like there's a tech pause, so everyone's gonna be sitting in the base for a little bit longer.
The tech pause that.
Yeah, this is a little bit unfortunate as the match still seems to be going here.
The spawn walls appear down because they go down at 2, and they visually look down, but they are very much still present. It just does not look like it. Do not worry. They can't run through. All good.
Looks like we had a disconnection for just a second there. We're going to get you guys back into it in just a moment here.
I heard that they just forgot to take the garlic bread out the oven.
Oh, yeah.
They were
whole place burned down.
It was burning. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Oh, so a little bit of an internet problem. I mean, I don't know about you, but with my Lenovo Legion would never let my internet go out. It would through sheer willpower and top tier technology.
Yeah, walk me through that. Walk me through that tech. That's really interesting.
Well,
I'm really intrigued.
When you think about the 4-cylinder cable management.
Yep.
And the the quadriatic. Yeah. So Lenovo Legion at every fine retailer near you. Make sure you. You know, I was just. I'm a Valorant guy myself. You know.
I got you.
Like I was giving you guys the general concept. You guys can piece the rest together yourself. But
okay.
You know, just happy to help. Happy to give you guys the general rundown here.
That makes sense. That makes sense, man. That was really interesting. I just never even thought that the monitor would do that. But I mean, I guess the response time is that low. I mean, it clearly has to be Wi-Fi enabled, Ethernet enabled. It's got to be fiber optic. I mean, I don't understand all that either, man. I'm just a caster. I'm not a network guy either. So, but yeah, that's pretty interesting.
I'm just a pasta guy, you know.
Yeah, I might have to go to Lenovo.com to you know, or some other fine retailers. Check the Lenovo Legion out because you've got something that I want, brother.
Exactly. And it's that red sauce. It's the spices. And I mean, speaking of which, I feel like Alfredo State needs to they're trying to eat before they actually spice up their food, before they actually season it. They're dry peeking before the utility comes out, you know.
Yeah,
they're not using their drones properly. If they use their drones, usually it's way too early in the round. They're not actually getting much info or real estate off of it. So I mean, when you season, you need to do it at the proper timings, when it's still in the pan, when you're still able to cook that into your pasta. Right now, they're they're seasoning as an afterthought, you know? It's like basic salt, perhaps a little bit of pepper. I need everything in there. I need all the spices. I want it all when it's still in the pan.
Right. Like I've seen the meta of like taking the noodles and cooking it in the sauce, so it's just naturally there. Get a little bit of that, man. See the noodles start to flow in and start to get looser and looser throughout the round as all that flavor combines. And those are those early frags bringing in the flavor as the noodles really start to compose and you see the push start to come on. I do think that we got a little bit of that. We got a little bit of combination. At least for the A-site takes, we got to see those first picks come in when they did happen. Usually on short, but it being a pick, it was a trade. So it's one of those situations where you put the noodles in, but it's like a little bit late. Like you start cooking the sauce and you're like, wait, I can put the noodles in at the same time. So like it's there, but like it's almost an afterthought. And then finally they're able to get themselves into the side. And from there, well, it's great and all to have an entree, Tristan, but we've said it already. It's just not the same to have noodles without some sort of side, without the bread, right? And they don't have the bread on the post plan. So they're not able to hold on to things. And so they get there, they get in, you're excited for dinner, and it's not fulfilling. It's not satisfying. It doesn't finish the round out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's one of the issues we've been having as well, is consistently inconsistent is one way we can describe Alfredo State so far this series, just because some rounds they'll absolutely dominate. They'll look like one of the best teams in the league, and the next they'll just make some really miscoordinated plays. You'll have some moments where it seems like the comms just weren't being used at all. And it feels like they had maybe some players deafened when it came to the team discords. But you know, it's really about, you know, the shots are there. You know, the talent is there as well. When you see some of these players just hit the most insane shots back to back, this is a very stacked game when it comes to actual mechanical skill. It's just a matter of them being, these teams are 1-3 are not a result of them not being able to hit their shots. They obviously have the skill to do it, but they don't have the coordination the same, and sometimes they are just not using their abilities the way you'd want them to as a team. So that being said, we are getting back into this game. Tech pause has been removed, and this could potentially be the last round of the season.
It's free!
Look at this!
It's free!
They've overcome their fears! This C site was something they weren't even touching the last few rounds. This time instead, they have a pause come through. They establish what they're going to do well ahead of time, and Smoke Bomb now has an opportunity to really put a thorn in their side, but he just gets distracted. That's how you play off of each other right there. He turns his back for a moment, and the other one springs out of the smoke.
Fishcraft stuck on site now, going to be taking the brunt of this early aggression. Does have a teammate behind him, but he's caught by the from the shadows, so that's all the information they need. Off the Omen ult this time will come through. They found themselves a 3K for the Sky, and everybody's stuck long. The Seekers are coming. The ult's trying to get out, but he'll die throwing it. It's a 4K for the Sky, and it's Revengeance to finish the job. The defuse has come through, and off the tech pause is victory for Pace University. Bon appetit. It's a 2-0.
Wow. That fell apart so fast. It was honestly difficult to even follow what just happened there because of how quickly that round went from a free C take. It was looking like, wow, Alfred State is back. They have it in the bag, baby. Overtime, here we come. And then all of a sudden, everyone just drops dead a few seconds later. They get caught with their utility in their hand. They get caught staring at the sky. Jet was updrafting and just gets shot to bits. I mean, it looked so promising, but that's just I think it's a testament to how good this league can be because of how great these retakes are, how quick paced that Pace University is. And keep in mind, these are 1-3 teams, by the way. We've seen a few mistakes come out with their coordination, but they did not look like they were helpless. They didn't look like their team that they don't belong in this league. They looked good. They had some great shots come out, some ridiculous shots at that. But that's the importance of strategy in a game like this. It's not just run and gun. It's not as simple as you might think, as some of these highlight videos makes it seem. You have to have that coordination. You have to function as a well-oiled machine, or you will get picked apart like Pace University did in some of these crucial rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. They say don't play with your food, but hey, sometimes you do what you got to do. So that'll wrap up the series at the 2-0, and I'm a little hungry now, Tristan, so we're going to throw a quick break. I'm going to give myself a bite, and then we'll be back to bite down on an interview with a player here from Pace. Don't go anywhere.
Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 Classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 Wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing!
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Your offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 Wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing!
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finished his bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. On my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on Shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Your offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing.
The HyperX.
Welcome back, one and all. We are back from slurping up pasta noodles to now slurping up answers. We're in here. We've got an interview with Pace University's very own Revengeance. What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Congrats on the 2-0 or the 2-0. You guys showed out really well today, and so I have a few questions for you. I'll start it off just with something I was interested in. Game 1, you guys had a pretty large lead in the second half, which it started to get whittled away at. Alfred State was really putting the pressure on you. Come that timeout, you guys were able to turn things around and finish out the game after that. What were the comms looking like in that timeout? What did you guys say to help reset the mental and bring that to an end?
So when it came to that timeout, we wanted to get one thing clear. We had to listen to our IGO. All right. Thank God for our IGO Kiwi, who if it wasn't for him, realistically, we wouldn't have gotten that many rounds on defense. And we had to like bring it back. Realistically, we had an amazing offense, and with that amazing offense, we had to capitalize on it. If we didn't capitalize on it, we probably would have been on overtime. All right. He allowed us to slow down the match as fast as we could, and at the same time win those very important rounds. So without those calls, I don't think it would have been possible.
Fantastic. Yeah, absolutely love that. And I'll hit you with the elephant in the room. It's match day. It's also patch day. 4.04. It's a new act. What did that look like coming into today? Getting up this morning, 8 a.m., new patch dropped. What did you do?
I went to class. All of us came into the game pretty fresh, except for Tommy, and he showed it. Tommy showed that he was ready to rip. Like, he was literally doing as amazing in Haven. But as far as everyone else, it seems like we just got on slightly beforehand, probably about an hour and a half. And we were talking about the strategies. I was in school and I was like, let's run Yoru. Let's run Yoru Omen. And the thought of Yoru didn't really pass by that well. And towards the end, we decided we're gonna run Omen, but we're all gonna run what we're already comfortable with. We had a few rough weeks already, so we didn't want to repeat that same thing. That was just the main idea right there. We wanted to get that win, and we wanted to make it clear that we're here to play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are swinging back in a big way. These next few weeks are going to be crucial for your team. Now, I kind of wanted to build off of that whole the notion of the patch notes, just because our third map was Icebox, who actually got heavily changed during the patch notes today. So, did you guys actually have any? Were you guys fully aware of all the changes being made to Icebox, and did you have any strats prepared for that?
Yeah, we we didn't have strats. Icebox is
Oh.
our Icebox is indeed our wildcard map. So when it came to Icebox, I think the only information we had was from Deathmatch. We had like a few DMs beforehand. We got Icebox twice. Other than that, like Icebox was a fresh map. Actually, now that I mention it, we're kind of sad about Icebox. They recently took out the baby car all the way in the backside of A, if you know what I'm talking about. The little
Let's
car.
go.
Yeah, so it's a little tough. It's a little tough to deal with that, but other than that, our we wanted to pick Icebox because of the other two maps. Like we barely have played against. Other than that, like proud of my team. We did great.
Yeah. Well, hearts are out to the baby car, and I ask you, who are your hearts out here on the interview desk? You're representing the program, of course. Are there thanks you want to throw out?
Yeah. I want to thank the director, Jesse, Aiden, for making this all possible. I want to thank the rest of the team. Obviously Zin, Siddiq, Kiwi, and Tommy, who, by the way, new guy on the team, absolutely amazing. All right, he came and he stepped up and he was here. He's here to play as well. As well as our two subs, Alex and Frankie. Can't forget about it because like they've been there since the beginning. Everyone's been there for the beginning except for Tommy. So like I can't forget about the main people. I want to obviously like thank my parents. They're rooting for me, and my girlfriend, she's rooting for me. But other than that, yeah, that's who I really want to give thanks to.
Absolutely.
That is really sweet. And for those of you watching, I know there is a slight delay in our cams right now. We were not laughing at him thanking his family and his parents. It's we were laughing. We were talking before the interview actually went up. So that being said, I really wanted to thank you. There is actually one question I did have before we're off here. You guys are going to have a very intense schedule to be able to try and keep yourself in the playoff position. Is there any team specifically you wanted to play against, or any team you kind of wanted to see on your docket for the next few games?
Grand Valley State University, we're going to be going against you, and we're going to win next time.
Oh, okay. That's what I like to hear, baby. Already the fire is stoked. The 2-0 does that to a team, man. You guys got your momentum going. You got a new player on the team as well to kind of reinvigorate the lineup. And man, the sky's the limit for you guys. I can't wait to see you guys' next matchup.
That's the one team I want us to reach against, and that's the one team I feel like we can do within the next couple of weeks, and obviously in the next couple season throughout the rest of the season. Other than that, all right, thank you guys very much for having this program. It was actually really fun, and if it wasn't for this, I don't know what we would be doing right now. Probably playing ranked, just chilling out.
Ranked. Oh. Yeah, gross. Glad to have you here, man. Really appreciate you doing this interview with us. Those of you watching at home, very, very fun watching this matchup today. We're going to have more for you next week. Thank you so much for joining us on the ECAC Valorant Match of the Week. It's week 5. We got 3 more left until playoffs. Until then, it's Tristan. It's Catnator. We're signing off for tonight. We'll see you guys around. Nice. GG's. Good stuff, man.
Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids, and for their kids, it's kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a sore. I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big. Jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big. The only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to. Back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents. And now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big. Call my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world, my vision on shamu. That mean I got goals that's real big, foes that's real big. Y'all offer too little, sorry, my soul is real big. Coming into the ring with blows that's real big. I gotta do it big, that's the only way I can live.
What will you like today? Another Cloud 2 classic?
I'll stick with the usual. Maybe take a little bit off the sides.
Oh, that's fresh.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Hey, watch your head.
What sound experience would you like today?
I'll have the fantasy pack.
Good choice.
And could you make it a Cloud 2 wireless?
On his way, sir.
Sounds amazing!
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big. Jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cars is real big. I gotta do it big. The only way that I can live.
Hey man, I just can't find a comfortable headset. I mean, I've tried everything. Literally everything.
Sheesh, my brother. I got you.
The HyperX Cloud 2 Wireless. Legendary comfort goes wireless.
That is comfortable.
Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a sore. I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he